Okay, and this next one, I actually broke a little bit of, like before, how I didn't 100% follow what things requested. Doing the same thing with this one, not 100% following what people requested. This one was also requested to be a high priest for Jake, but when I looked at the two of them, I was like, well, this one doesn't really make sense as a high priest for Jake. As a matter of fact, as opposed to switching to a different role for Jake, because that one was already taken, because they both came in about the same time, after most of the other ones were filled up, it actually made more sense for him to stay as a high priest for a different person than it did for them to stay as a different position for Jake. So reading this personality, I really felt as though Shira belonged in a different clan. So let me read it. Reemah is a full orc class expert, alignment chaotic good female. On the older side of middle-aged, 56-ish, sorry, 5'6"-ish, covered in scars, black hair turning white, eyes like tiger eye gemstones. If you guys know, those look like they're really cool, dark brown and whatnot. It was like orange in them. 5'6" is tall for an orc. That's like really tall for an orc, especially a female orc. But that's really tall. But either way, so large. Personality, outspoken, direct, always listens to your issues but isn't scared to call you out. Perfectly devout in her faith, but you get the impression that she has not always been that way. Everyone loves her, grandmotherly to the younglings. Many come to her for comfort, and she will spar with you if you don't want to use words. Though it is harder for you to keep, harder for her to keep up now. Others want to protect her because she is not. But she's not incapable of protecting herself. So once again, you're going with an older orc, somebody who's middle-aged, not quite old-aged, so it's the latter side of middle-aged. So just picking out that age right off the bat, you have with a full orc. Full orcs are middle-aged at 20 years old, and become old at 30. They become venerable at 40. They just die relatively young. So you could say that tail end of middle age, she's actually going to be 28 years old as a full orc. So she's actually not that old. Just as a full orc, you become an adult at 12. So she very well may be a grandmother, you know? She could have popped out a couple kids at, like, say, 15, right? Or let's see, 14. Now at 28 years old, she has grandkids because her children are 14 and popping out kids, which is well into the adulthood. She's going to become an adult at 12. It's perfectly normal. So middle-aged, not old, but close to old. So let's say 28 years old. Right off the bat, we can do that for her. Because she's a full orc, it's +4 strength, -2 intelligence, wisdom, charisma, which is fine. Because of the personality type here, I can see her being a higher wisdom than charisma, but I don't want charisma to lack. I focus on that because when you're looking at that position, which is called Ember Keeper, it's charisma or wisdom, but like it really sounds more like a wisdom person. Listens to you, will let you fight it out rather than talk it out, so on and so forth. That seems more like a wisdom than charisma person to me, but there's definitely not a lack of charisma there, so I don't want to hurt that. She might have to take a bit of a dip on intelligence. She's not the smartest, but she understands that she's not the smartest. All right, cool. Flopping out those stats. Right off the bat, we can start with a high strength to make sure she's not a wimp. Even if we went with like a 15 strength, because being middle-aged will drop it down just by 1 to a 14. So again, she's not a wimp. Dexterity, let's beef that up just a little bit so she's not lacking there either. Con, I don't want to waste too many points on these kind of stats, but yeah. Because they really have to compensate over here. For me to get a halfway decent wisdom, I went all in on wisdom. To even get a 15, which because she's middle-aged will go up to a 16, so at least it's something to work with, right? So that's not bad, but now my charisma is an 8, which I didn't want. So I have to suffer somewhere else to make up for it. Strap dexterity by 2. Maybe she wasn't, she's not afraid to give it to you. She can't keep up. Maybe she has a lower con. Let me get my charisma to a 10. It's lower than I would like. But I think it's just kind of what I have to deal with. I don't want to bring intelligence too low. Because being middle-aged, you get her to a 9, which isn't so bad. And I really don't want to hurt wisdom any more than what it is, because she definitely feels like a very wise person. I might have to hurt dexterity a little bit. So it gives us charisma to an 11. So the boost from being middle-aged get to a 12. Brings intelligence to a 9. Boost from middle-aged get us to a 10. Brings our wisdom to a 16, which is important. That's going to be a 10. That's going to be a 10. That's going to be a 14, which is all good. So 15, 11, 11. 9, 15, 11. Then we know for being middle-aged, we got so that brings us to our 14, 10, 10, 10, 16, 12. Okay. As for being an orc, a full orc, other attributes, nothing inside of a full orc is worth switching out. There's no knowledge abilities for the other orc. There's no knowledge religion over there. We already looked at it. So there's nothing really worth it there. So I think we're good there. Ferocity, weapon familiarity, dark vision, light sensitivity. We're gonna have to get all those up in here. Oop. Dark vision doesn't really need to be in there. I just put that over on the other side. Some of I put dark vision there because I forget that I don't like to. Because then you're recording and stuff, you totally forget minor details like that. Anybody who starts streaming and does it for more than just like 1 or 2 streams really starts to see what it means to have like streamer brain. It's always funny when you see people kind of come to the light. Speaking of dark vision, light sensitivity. Okay. Karok. That's all she speaks, which is fine. Okay, that gets rid of the racial stuff. All done for her. Cool. Now let's throw an expert D8 6+, and then 1003. Okay. $28, 5'6". Okay. Rogue, I imagine, as well as others. I'm not putting alignments on any of the character sheets because I'm allowing it to play itself out. I'm putting them on the character sheets after all of them are done being built, and then I'll allow their personalities to play out. That way you guys don't have a sense of their personality just by seeing some basic stuff like this. It's D8, right? Yeah, so it's just a no con. So slash R2D8. Huh. Only 8. Oh, she can't keep up the way she used to, right? Hey, where's the 8? Why'd you go to 0? There you go. All right. Expert has so many skills. So we're done with point buy. We're done with race. Now it's class. Oh, no, it's just any 10 skills. That's right. That's right. So we're going to start spending out points. So obviously knowledge, religion, too. No question about that. Imagine she has diplomacy, intimidate, and does she have intimidating as an orc? Is that a thing she had? Huh. Orcs are intimidating? It's kind of lame. Why did I think they got a +4 to intimidate? Weird. Okay. I know half orcs get the 2, but I thought they got a +4. Maybe I'm crazy. Okay. Diplomacy, intimidate, sense motive. Especially sense motive. Somebody that bends an ear. Diplomacy, she knows how to talk. Intimidate, she's not afraid to talk. 4 points left. Knowledge warlords. Because you can't, let's put a point in there. Local history. Point in each of those. Praise, acrobatics, climb, bluff, craft, diplomacy, disable device, escape artist, fly, heal. Being a bit of a shaman. Loads. What does he call him in his clan? Ember Keeper. So geography, because of mining. Profession miner. Imagine that's important too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And he has to have a 10th. I don't have a 10th in here. Yes, that's fine. But profession miner should have a rank as well. Because of where they're from. Stick 1 out of intimidate. There you go. That'll represent her correctly. So we have her race is completely applied. Her class is completely applied, as well as health points. Now it's a matter of making her feat that makes sense for her as a knowledge religion, with only 1 feat coming her way as just a noble scion. None of those other knowledge ones make sense. If I was just giving her skill focused religion, though I won't lie, skill focused religion doesn't actually make the most sense for her. And the reason why I say that is just because it literally says in the description, perfectly devout in her faith, but you get the impression she hasn't always been that way. Gives you the impression like maybe she wasn't. Focused religion, right? All right, am I crazy? R-E-L-I, yeah. Re-le. Seriously? Are you guys... Are you just like searching 1 cell? Oh. That was weird. I'm skipping things that are like prerequisites and whatnot. As opposed to the description. There you go. +2 dungeoneering, operations, knowledge planes. To identify it now. Nope, nothing there. Knowledge is too much to read. That's a +2 knowledge engineering. So that's specifically for identifying bad guys. It's kind of lame. The ones that are the big +2 religion were it was like the old people one and stuff like that, but orcs don't live to those ages. It really is just kind of no, it's not religion they wanted. It's 116 is too much to search. Breadth of experience again is the one that just can't. Yeah. Won't lie, kind of like sense motive. She likes to listen to people. But I also don't want to handicap her as a advisor either. Huh. So I just smell fear. It's funny. It requires stern gaze. She seems like somebody that could easily be a inquisitor. Won't lie. Her concept, who wasn't faithful before but now is devoutly faithful. I can see this person maybe an inquisitor in the future. That might be fun. But I'm gonna go knowledge. What is it? Skill focused religion. She learned her faith later on. She's only level 2, so it's not like she's lived a full life as a leveled class, right? So nothing really jumped out at me as a concept for a feat for her. She's not meant to be hyper combative or so on and so forth. And those more like fun side feats we can get later on. This gives her the ability to get the +1 there, as well as the wisdom here. Her name is Reemah. She's going over to sell as what he calls as Ember Keeper. This one will be for Rosin, because I already told him it was coming. So, wisdom 3 +1 for the other thing, meaning that she offers a 4 to stability. Which brings him to a 23, which if you watch the video I made for Jake, is about where Jake's would be if he shifted things. Actually, exactly how Shadō did. Except Shadō has even worse loyalty. It would actually get him better situated with his loyalty, and his stability would be still within a realm of perfect comfortable. You don't have to be well over your control DC. You can be, when you're first starting off, start off with just that, like, because if you fail stability a couple times, not the end of the world. It's easy to regain unrest by building a simple building that removes unrest, right? I think even just building a house. But you can build one house like this. One house around. You get, as long as you have the 3 BP to spend, it doesn't go against your buildings that you make. Removes your unrest by 1. So if it costs a 3 BP, you can always reduce your unrest by a little bit while you're still trying to get your stability in order. So, but either way, so this is Reemah. I really like her concept. She's going to be a bit fun because she's going to be loud, but not like obnoxiously loud, just like very opinionated, but for the benefit of the people, right? So, yay. All right, I got to make sure I'm careful with this camera. One, I got to get ready for work. I have to be at work in 2 hours, so just have to get ready and eat breakfast and prepare my lunch, and I don't come home until right before, so I have to make sure like things are ready for dinner and whatnot. Anyways, and I still haven't set up the fan for my camera yet because I haven't had time. But at least I got the angle better for the camera, so that's good news. I still have to play with that slightly. All right, that should be everything. That should be everything for our race, class, health points even. Cool. Done and done.